drive a Ferrari 355 Cabriolet. What's up? I have a ridiculous house in the South Fork. I have every toy you can possibly imagine. And best of all, kids, I am liquid. So, now you know what's possible. Let me tell you what's required.
Before we get to life advice, want to let you know that Friday we're doing a two-part podcast. Well, it's going to be the same podcast. We have two different guests regarding the Hagler-Hearns fight from 1985. I think it's the best fight I've ever seen. The War is what it was billed. The War is also the name of a book by Don Stradley, which I mentioned I've been reading. Finished it. We had Stradley and Bob Arum, who promoted the fight. So that's going to be two guys on Friday's pod. We're still not sure what we're doing with the rest of it. I wanted to do this. Let's just do it now while football and basketball starts up. But I think for the younger listeners, if you haven't seen the fight, watch the fight first and then listen to the interviews. All you have to do is watch it on YouTube. It takes, honestly, the entire thing, lead-ins, intro, trumpet, flag that didn't make it all the way down the building, interviews. It's 20 minutes. The fight doesn't even make it 3 rounds, but it's the best. So, look, you can still do the interview. You can watch the fight after. It doesn't matter. I think listening to the interview after the fight would be the better way to go, but you do whatever you want. I'm not in charge of everybody. So Rudy is back from Tulum International. Steve, what was it like? Quick review.
Good to get away, a week in Tulum, good times, a little bit tanner, a little bit more my tequila. I think tolerance is a little bit higher. They like to get after it there, dude. Just free shots everywhere. Free shots when you get tacos on a random stand on the side of the road. The one thing that was insane about Mexico, and I had never been, bro, you could buy drugs wherever you want. There's guys just selling HGH on the side of the street. Pharmacies have Viagra pills. Not that I partook in any of this stuff. Guys on the beach just selling cocaine. I was just stunned, dude. It was like the Wild West out there. I just couldn't believe it was like an apothecary on every corner.
Kyle, did you hear that?
So is Tulum a city or a county? Where exactly did you go?
It's kind of in the middle of the jungle. It's not, it's what, 2 hours south of Cancun. So you fly into Cancun, you drive south. And it has this weird vibe to it where it's not really commercial at all, but people get after it there, man. And it's right on the beach. It's right near these Mayan ruins. It's a super cool place, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I liked it. I think it's got a really, I don't know. It's its own thing. I know that sounds stupid, but I don't like places that don't have a little character. I've never been one that would just go to a resort and then stay at the resort for 7 days and then leave. I'm not a huge cruise guy. You probably guess that one. So I like that Tulum, you can get out, you can explore a little.
There's a little danger. It's a little dangerous, but not really dangerous.
It's not
the
dangerous.
Road is narrow.
The people part of it isn't dangerous. Although I heard if you go into the city, when I was down there, apparently there were some shootings. So they were like, don't go in there. And I was like, all right, whatever. I met some guy. I was at a restaurant bar eating dinner. And the guy was like, yeah, I moved my family down here for the weekend because it was dangerous in the main section. And I was like, all right, whatever. I think the only danger is walking in the street. I can't believe people aren't plowed by cars regularly because there's stretches where there's no sidewalks and it's just that one street that you're in and out. I did not go on any Viagra, HGH, Coke benders when I was there.
Nice. Good.
But
no, we went to a shop and we were buying sunscreen because we're stupid and we forgot. And she handed us this list of drugs. And she's like, would you like any of these? And the first one was just human growth hormone, Viagra, whatever, anything, literally anything you wanted, all the stuff that you need prescriptions for in the States that down there, they're just fuck it, we're good.
Yeah. Did you say you're surprised I went there?
No. I'm surprised that you can get any of that stuff just without a prescription, without anything. They just want to keep, they're giving it to you like candy.
Okay. Kyle, any other adepts to this? Nothing?
No. So Tulum, right? I'll go to the same place.
Tulum, dude. Check it out.
You both went if I just say, bring me to Tulum. Got it.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Life advice. We did have the guy who talked about his girlfriend being a mess because I think it was brought up. It's well, just don't go to her place anymore. Apparently, he lives with a roommate. The roommate owns the place they live in. The girlfriend came over with her dog. Her dog apparently is just as messy as she is and pissed everywhere. So now she's not allowed to come over because apparently she always has to come over with the dog. So his place is now off limits. But he did enjoy us making fun of him for part of the email, which I do appreciate because we're all just trying to have fun here a little bit. So that's not a solution to that. I don't think he liked our other advice, just start trashing his place.
Oh, definitely not if he's got somebody who's making rules for him.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's get to it. lifeadvicerr@gmail.com. First one here. It's a two-parter. I normally wouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it. 24, 5'8", 155. Used to be a good athlete. ACL tear. Fix it, man. You're 24. Rehab your ACL and be a good athlete again. Or maybe you weren't. Maybe it wasn't the ACL. All right. Okay. Big fan of the pod. 4 of my best friends and I just got our first place in college, post-college in LA. We're all born and raised in LA. 3 of the guys actually went to Texas. I went to USC. All right, cool. They're all super into the Lakers. Lakers fans, very passionate. We've lived at our place since June and found out last week Carmelo owns the house right across the street from us. Can I just interject there for a second? It's your first place post-college. You're in your early 20s, and Carmelo Anthony's your neighbor.
Fuck you.
So either Melo is worried about the money coming in, or you guys are hooked up. Okay, all right. Not important, though. Not important. So apparently Melo's house was vacant all summer, but training camp for the Lakers started, and he moved back in. As we know, the season started last night. Lakers didn't look that good. I'm not that worried about it. Although the Westbrook part, I'm not going to freak out about a bad Westbrook night because it has nothing to do with the playoffs. I briefly saw him the other day, so I can confirm it's true, but was unable to approach him. Our question is, how do we approach Melo? Our goal is to really buoy him up and not just be a bunch of fanboys.
Oh, Jesus.
Leave a bottle of wine with a note. Invite him over for drinks or dinner. Any advice would be appreciated. He sent a follow-up just a couple days ago. Said, wanted to let you know that we have yet to make our first point of contact with Melo. I spoke with his chef yesterday while she was unloading some of the big old King Alaskan crabs out of her car. She was super friendly, but I did not mention anything in regards to Melo. Any help would be appreciated. Thanks, man. All right. What you guys are trying to do here is really hard. Okay, because you just admitted you're all like crazy Lakers fanboys. You're 24, so you're younger than him in years, but you're also even younger in like experience years. Melo's seen some shit, all right? So Melo's been around. Melo's gone through the grind of being an NBA superstar. My guess would be when you say we want to buoy him up but not be fanboys, I think it's impossible for you. I think it's going to be impossible for your entire group. Like if you run into Melo, and I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to do the, hey, I'm cool. Like, don't size me up. Don't dismiss me immediately. Like, it's cool. Like, you just chill with us. We just hang out. And because you want to know why I know? Because I have tried to do it. Okay. Not with Melo, but when I've been with somebody who I know is at a higher level of whatever stature, however we keep track of that shit in this country. Where I want to break through and be like, look, we'd actually, probably be cool, but I got to play it cool here. I got to play it cool. I'm 20 years older than you guys, and it doesn't always work out for me. All right. There's no way you guys are going to be able to do it. You're going to have these, no offense, these dumb looks in your face. Your eyes are going to be like, you're just going to be too psyched. You want this so bad. It's the reason you're not going to be able to pull this off. I don't think Melo is going to hang out with you and your 24-year-old friends. I don't think he's going to do that. You can invite him over for drinks. You could do any of these things. I think leaving a bottle of wine or something or a fancy bottle of tequila and leaving a note. But when you say, hey, why don't you just come over? We'll all be on the same level, be normal. I think you guys will be incapable of doing that because it's Carmelo Anthony and he's now a Laker. What are you going to ask him about? Have you gone over topics? What do you think about the debt? You guys are going to be sitting there being like, tell us about the Knicks. What's LeBron like? Like, you're going to do all the stuff that you would want to do because now if Melo were even going to give you this audience, but I have to tell you, if you're Melo in this instance, he is calloused to people like you. And I'm not saying people like you in a derogatory sense. I'm just saying like the citizens, the commoners, all right, which is what most of us all are when we're talking about super, super elite level of fame. All right. So he is not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. He is going to think like you're every other person that wants something from him. All right. And there's a really good chance that if he's a Laker living in your neighborhood, he's not looking for new friends that are also obsessed with basketball and him and are this much younger than him. I'm not saying it's impossible. I would say shoot your shot, but I think I know you without knowing you, that you're not going to be able to contain your excitement and your nervous energy, and it's going to send off a vibe that's the opposite of, hey, I'm cool and I'm over this and we should all just hang out together. I've learned this numerous times. Just because you get along with somebody who's famous it doesn't mean they actually want to start hanging out regularly with you. Kyle?
Yeah, couple thoughts. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. I think
Don't try anything. No bottle of tequila.
Because you know what? This is it's not fucking Flushing. This isn't Brooklyn. Like, this isn't a city where people have like neighbors that they like know and love. Like, you know, it's not it's a very isolated city. So it's like if you were like in a suburb of Charlotte, if he was in like the Hornets or something, I would say I don't really know the vibe of that. But like everything's so isolated, nobody wants to know their fucking neighbor. So you just trying to be like, the only reason that you think it's okay to say hi to him is because you know where he lives and you know where you like be able to see him. But like, this isn't like this isn't like a town where that's a normal thing that neighbors do. It's like, hey, notice we're neighbors. Like, here's some liquor and like now the added layer of I'm a celebrity and like, you know who I am. It's just fucking weird. Just don't like, you have to be like organic. Like I've actually had many interactions with celebrities, but only a couple that are like normal and genuine. Like everybody that goes into the Bill Simmons podcast, they're not like, you want to fucking hang out after this. And I know it's a little different, but like only 2 times I can remember like hanging out with a celebrity. I smoked a cigarette with Walton Goggins and I smoked a cigarette with John Hamm. And it was both because we were at a place where cigarettes were smoked, not because I was like, hey, dude, do you want to hang out with me and smoke a cigarette? Do you know what I mean? Like it has to be organic and it can't be you like, hey, I noticed you lived here. So I walked on your property and dropped off a bottle of tequila. It just sounds weird. He probably won't hate you. It's just not going to go the way you want it. And it might actually make him feel weird. And I don't think that's what you want if you're a fan of Mello. That's all I'm saying.
Wow, there was some serious just animosity in that response. The tone of your voice. I don't know that I've heard
he's
this.
He's just like 24 and he like feels like it's gonna work out. I hate that he's probably a rich kid. I don't know, but I'll be done. I'll say
that's where this went wrong. That's where this. No, you know what though, Kyle, you're right about everything. This isn't going to work. It isn't going to work. I'm saying, you know, sending over a bottle of 1942 and whatever, but it's still not going to be like. I mean, look, what do we hear the story how Ben Wallace used to race cars with like neighborhood kids, remote cars in Detroit, and everybody used to love him. And he was just cool. It's not impossible, but I think I have a good sense of where Mello is at. And I don't think he's like, would he feel obligated to come over and do, I just don't think he's going to do any of those things, you know? And again, I think the emailer himself, I don't dislike him. I'm just saying I think I know where your head is at with you and your friends, and you're obsessed with trying to make this contact with Carmelo. That you're going to fuck it up even if you do. You know, he's going to read you guys and be like, oh, you know, these guys are fanboying. Al, you said you don't want to do that. I don't think you're capable of it. By the way, John Hamm, real quick, when you guys smoked a cigarette together, did you talk about anything? What did you guys hit on?
Actually, it was kind of quiet. We didn't talk about much. I can't remember. It was Park City, so the air was a little thinner, and I had a few brews, if you know what I mean. So nice. I don't really remember too much.
It was just you two?
Just us two, yeah.
Wow.
So you were hammered, and
no pun intended.
Nice.
Well done. I mean, did he know you're Bill's guy though?
Yeah. We were at the table.
Yeah.
We were like at the table together at this like resort, I guess. I don't know. Must have been where like the important people at Sundance go. But like we were both out there organically, and it wasn't like, you know. So yeah, it was cool. And then the second one, I did follow him out because I felt like we were cigarette buds, but I didn't feel super close to him. So
like, hey, what's up with that Peter Francis son of a bitch? I'd have a hard time. If we ran into him tonight, there'd be words. Kyle, it was a TV show. I don't care. He hit on your wife and she was fucking pregnant. But Kyle, relax. All right. So Rudy, anything to add to this? You hate this. You hate it. I know.
No, it just sucks because it's Carmelo, so it's impossible. You guys are right. I mean, I think the only way would be you have to impress him with your coolness. You have to make him come to you. But the likelihood of that actually happening and you being able to pull off some sort of scheme to make that happen is so low that I just don't think it's possible. What you guys said. If it was, I don't know, Ken Bazemore or Taylor Horton Tucker or Malik Monk, you'd have probably like a much better shot. But I don't think Melo is interested in hanging out with any 24-year-old dudes, and especially guys that are going to be fanboys in his face. So I would say lure him with maybe like a wine shipment, an expensive wine shipment. Make sure he's around and see, like, he sees the truck come up and he sees that you guys are getting cases of wine, because maybe that'd pique his interest. But if you go straight to him with like an invitation or something, it's just going to be a hard no.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that that was even presented in the email and invite him over for drinks or dinner. Do you know how bad he doesn't want to do that? Like Melo wakes up every day going, my list of priorities is get buckets and not to go to a stranger's house for dinner.
24-year-olds, yeah. Come on.
Yeah, I think
So,
You
different
guys want to play
player,
Mario Kart?
different player, different city, maybe. But this isn't the type of town where people are interested in meeting their neighbors.
Yeah, I like what you guys, Talon Horton Tucker.
It's the luck of the
Pacers,
draw. They screwed
right.
up. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Their house is probably not.
Well, they're doing
terrible.
all right, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's not feel too bad for the guys here. All right. This is a different one, but I feel like we need to challenge ourselves to mix them up more often because we can get a little too relationship money-ish with these, and I want to take a break from them for a little bit. Okay. Here we go. 59177. 177. Ryan, you introduced me to Big Cat in the outset of the nationwide quarantine. And since the serendipitous March 2020, that serendipitous March of 2020, I've become an ardent aficionado of PMT and apparently words as well, bud. So, hey, look at that. Helping that little startup. Pardon my take. My question is, if you believe that a crew of you, Kyle, and Steve. Oh, okay. So he wants to know if I think. All right. So here's this guy really put some time into crafting this. So I have to do it the justice it deserves. It's quite a wordsmith. Okay. My question is, do you believe that a crew of you, Kyle, and Steve would be victorious in a fight versus PFT, Dan, and Billy Football? A little about myself. I'm 21, a 2-stripe purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I also box. Furthermore, I'm a history major who's matriculated at a Pac-12 school. I don't ever street fight, but I've witnessed a healthy amount of them. And it's to my belief that in a street fight, your crew would eke out a victory over PMT. My rationale is as someone who's trained before, imperative for you, Ryan, to use your skills. Dean, he remembers the Dean Muay Thai stories. So again, that was a very long time ago, that I would use the Muay Thai on Billy and take him to the ground immediately. Although most of my stuff with Dean was all stand up. So the ground game is not strong here. To neutralize his licensed hands. I've heard that PFT, aver before that he's all, there's so many vocabulary words in here that almost like most of the audience isn't going to get. There's a couple that I'm not sure of either. So don't write emails like this in the first place because you're just showing off. All right. Let's just go through this whole thing. He has me taking out Billy, and that Kyle with his size and fighting experience, and that he had a bat in his house for a while to handle disputes, that you could take PFT, and that Dan Big Cat against Cerruti is a toss-up.
Is it?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like,
Cerruti, he's so much bigger than you. Like, if he doesn't kick your ass, he should have to leave the industry. That should be a retirement
I was going to get
match.
PFT. I was like, okay, me versus PFT.
That was my thought.
He's a little older than me. Like, I think Kyle could maybe take Big Cat with youth. But then do you want to match up strength with strength? Like, I was thinking maybe like Billy Football versus me. Obviously, Billy Football takes me out. But I think you two could beat up the other two, and we'd probably win, right?
Then somebody just helps Cerruti. That's what I thought. Like,
yeah.
Whichever one finished first could help Cerruti. Or
I'll just get knocked out immediately
knows.
by Billy Football, and then you guys take it from there. I don't know.
Big Cat seems like he's like a yo-yo, a bit of a yo-yo. Like sometimes he looks yoked, sometimes he looks like me.
He's
you know
not
what I mean?
yoked.
I know he's not
He's
yoked, but
definitely not.
sometimes he's looking leaned out, and then sometimes
He does.
Sometimes he's looking like, you know, those Saturday donut pictures he posts. So I never really know where he's at. Sometimes like, geez, he's looking good. And other times like, oh, that's what he normally looks like. So I don't know what kind of Big Cat we'd be getting.
I'll say this too, PFT with or without his sunglasses on, because with the sunglasses on, he's more intimidating. But recently I saw he took the sunglasses off and he's a much less intimidating looking guy. So I think we could take PFT without the sunglasses.
This is almost mean now. So he has me going against Billy. He has Kyle against PFT. And then the Cerruti Big Cat thing is, it's just not a toss-up. He's a big guy. He's just too much bigger than you, Cerruti. So
he has what, 5 inches and at least 50 pounds and probably more?
No, I think he's like 6'4". He's really tall.
Yeah, it's
And
not a match.
I would agree, Kyle. His pictures, sometimes I think he looks legitimately attractive. And then other times I'm like, okay, not wicked hot in this picture.
I mean, he's a cute kid. He has a good face.
Hey, look at Kyle. That's really nice. So, by the way, why do they get Billy and not Hank? Isn't Hank more of the show than Billy
That's
is?
what I thought. But I guess
for
Billy's
the
like
fight purposes,
known for
we have to
fighting,
leave
right?
Billy in there. Yeah. He boxed a little bit and he took out Jose Canseco. I can guarantee I don't think any of the three of us will take a dive though. So that could be more challenging than Billy's last thing.
He said street fight, right? So location matters. If it's a bar, there's lots of stuff to get hit with.
All right. Let me stay with the email here. The case for PMT would be if Dan finishes Steve immediately to engender the 3-on-2 advantage. So in summary, Steve is the consequential X factor. I hope this doesn't come across as too sordid of a thought exercise, but fighting has been has been recently a motif of life advice. So the timing feels felicitous. All right. Okay. I don't now I'm wondering if these guys sent this. You may analyze this latent throwaway down in an entirely different way, and I welcome each of your perspectives. I'll leave you with this. All right, now he's Lakers. He's doing a Lakers. What time did he send this? Is this at fucking 4 a.m.?
I was going to say, it sounds like 3 in the morning.
No, it isn't. It isn't. He sent it during the day. Okay. All right. I like Kyle's chances against Big Cat. I don't think he has a switch. I'll say it right now. I don't think Big Cat has a switch.
Wow.
I think he's big, but I don't think he has a switch. I think Cerruti's a shit talker, but I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't know that I'm going to be able to count on you, but I think you sucker punch somebody. Now the other thing about PFT is he's got pretty big legs. He's a pretty sturdy dude. So I don't know if you'd have to factor that in, but I still think I like Kyle. The problem is it comes down to Billy and me. And I know I have the old man strength on him. I have no idea what I bring to the table at this point anymore. There's a pretty good chance if I get punched in the face really quick, hard, I'd be like, you know what? I don't want to fucking do this anymore. What do I have to prove? But who knows? Maybe if I'm really, you catch me on the wrong day, maybe I come in looking for it. So that one's tough. I don't know how to call that one. I'm not going to be dismissive and go, oh yeah, fuck that kid. Because I don't think that'd be fair. And there's a chance I lose that one, but I'm also not going to sit here and say I'm emphatically going to lose either. So I don't know what to do with that one. That one's a little closer than we thought, probably, right? Unless Billy takes me out immediately.
That would
but
suck.
see, yeah.
I think we'd have to attack Billy maybe as the three of us because he's the strongest point, and then see what Big Cat and PFT do. Do they jump in? Like, because I think the surprise tactic of just like the three of us ambushing Billy might disable him, and then we can kind of take on the other two after the shock is kind of cleared.
That seems wrong. Just seems wrong.
Really?
I don't know. Something about it seems wrong. I thought
You don't like that?
I thought Cerruti's got stamina, right? He plays soccer on the weekends. He could keep PFT
No
busy.
ball skills, though.
Nope. Yeah, maybe.
I can move around.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
would not get hit.
He could keep him busy, just dodge and weave. And I really don't know what Big Cat's like. He might be like a grapple guy, and then I'm like, now I'm wrestling on the ground with a guy who's, able to contain somebody like me. I don't know. He might just be like if I can just get close enough to him, I can just take this to the ground, and it's just really messy. So I think honestly, it could be me and Big Cat are rolling around in some sort of bear hug. Cerruti's kind of dancing around PFT, and it's rarely whatever you think is going to happen with you and Billy. It sounds like.
Yeah, I think that's really what it comes down to. I'm sorry, Cerruti. I'm not going to. It's just too much size. And then I think PFT's got you too. So if Kyle beats Big Cat, which I think he would, then I'm the tiebreaker in there. And I'm sure those guys are going to back their guy because I think Billy also has that kind of would run his head into a brick wall type of thing. And
he's got a Gronk thing going.
Yeah, he's got a little Gronk, like I didn't even realize my arm got cut off in him. So he's going to talk himself into it. And I didn't see enough from his Canseco fight. I don't know. Canseco was done with that pretty quickly. But Billy went into it thinking he was going to win. That's pretty important. Pretty important. My mind might not even be right for this. So yeah, that's a tough one.
I could tell you that would be the #1 Monday podcast though for us. The recap,
if we just
the recap. That would be the number one on iTunes and Spotify.
It would depend. I don't know how guys shook out of that thing. What you'd have to do is, no matter what, you'd have to show up for the Monday pod, because as we all know, if you fight in high school and the other person doesn't show up to class the next day, that means that person lost.
Yeah, we would actually have to record it Sunday night, so it comes out early morning Monday instead of our normal East Coast late time.
Yeah. Good email, I think. Okay, that's life advice. Again, we'll talk to you Friday. Please subscribe. Thanks to Kyle and Steve for all their contributions, and enjoy the start of NBA season.